Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. 12:12 right now on my clock as I just logged on. And it's interesting because I am so frustrated right now because I've been trying a couple of times to do a reading and I've been trying to record it and I'll start to get into a flow and start to get into a channel, but then it stops. And I know that a lot of that has to do with me. There's a lot of solar plexus stuff coming up today. There's just so much yellow around me all morning. I had a banana and I also ate a lemon flavored yogurt this morning. And then I noticed that my coffee mug is this yellow You Are My Sunshine. And so I know that there's a lot of solar plexus stuff coming up. And so it really just, I know that this is reflecting to me my doubt in myself, my inability to really just rely on my light, and there's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of self-doubt and self-worth stuff. So not all of this is mine. And the reason that I tell you that is because not all of that is mine. That's the energy that I feel in the collective, in the field right now. And so that's kind of what I'm channeling. That's what I'm that's what I'm tapped into. So it's coming up for me personally, and it's being played out in a personal way for me. But that's the energy that's most important for us and that's most present for us right now, in this very moment right now. And so I'm like, okay, where's the structure? Where is the, like, why can't I just come on and, like even right now, I'm trying to guide this reading. I'm trying to have it go somewhere, and it's already starting to take me out of the energy of right now and being connected and all of that. It's almost like there is this push-pull between my divine connection and my ego, which we all have a lot of the time. But there's something in my ego that is weighing me down and making me want to lean more towards the way I think things should go, the way I think a reading should go, or what are the things that I should be saying, or what you guys want to hear, instead of just channeling what's here, what that connection is, leaning into that, and just saying whatever it is that they want me to say, everything that comes to mind, and really getting into an open channel. And you know, as readers, we always want to try to remove as much of our ego as we possibly can. But when we're weighted down by, it's one of the hardest things for readers to do, I think, is to really remove their brain, remove their ego brain, and stop thinking so much and just do. So there is that distorted masculine energy, that lack of masculine energy. The doing is masculine energy. And there's kind of the lack of that in our realm. And so the feeling of the masculine being missing, and it could be reflected in, you know, you not being connected with your masculine person that you resonate with, or whatever that is, your counterpart. It could be reflected in that way, but really it's missing from us in some way, for some reason. And it causes this self-doubt. It causes this self-worth issues. Oh, skinny love is on. Skinny love is on. Skinny love. Okay, so the masculine energy, we're going there today, huh? Masculine energy is also very physical. It's very physical and movement oriented, and is connected to, you know, motion and action and doing, and, you know, exercise and physical health and your body, and, you know, that's where the element of masculine kind of resides within you. Even if you're a woman, you know, we all have both polarities. You guys know that. And so when you are having trouble moving, when you're having trouble creating action, when you're having trouble doing, it is a lack of masculine energy. And like I said, it's reflected in, you know, maybe your masculine is not in your life, or you know, whatever it is, you're not feeling your masculine there. It's connected to, for a lot of you, it's connected to your body. there is, and this self-worth, look, solar plexus clearing right now. For a lot of you, that's where the self-esteem, self-worth issues are coming from, are the sensitivities about your body. Me personally, I have gained weight in the last year, and it's been really hard for me to talk about. It's been really hard for me to come on here and do videos. I've done less and less and less of them, and that's not totally the reason why, but a lot of that is when I record my videos, I'm sitting here looking at myself on the screen. And I'm very sensitive about the fact that I have gained weight, that there's been just so much less movement in the world for everyone. I mean, we've just become more sedentary than we were before. My everyday life and my everyday actions, even just taking my kids to school every single day, got me up, got me moving, got me out of the house. And my day started with movement. And now my kids are homeschooled. You know, almost all the kids are at home doing virtual schooling. I work from home also, and I'm always sitting down on the computer. And that daily structure of movement, especially first thing in the morning, has really decreased. It's become an effort, really. And it's not to say that I'm lazy, because I don't look at it that way. I have ADD, and it's hard for me to get motivated, especially first thing in the morning, to create that action. I've always hated working out. I've always just had, my exercise was my job, or it was, you know, I just stayed active in my everyday life. And so, it's been really hard. I totally just blanked out again too, because they're wanting me to talk to you about something else too, connected to my weight and, the reason for all of that. And I don't know if I'm ready for that right now. Why do I have to talk about that right now? So yeah, I'm totally blanked out right now. They just want me to talk about it. So I also was on medication for my ADD, and there's nothing against medication at all, but I realized at the time that it was masking, because it's, gives me energy, it creates focus here, but it also gives your body energy and motivation and things like that. But it was masking some symptoms I was having connected to something else, to a thyroid issue that I have, my throat chakra, speaking my truth. And there were imbalances there, and the being on that medication for the ADD had masked that. And that medication actually, it keeps me moving, it keeps me active, and I just, get up and go. And it also is like, you lose weight on it. It's just one of the side effects of it, that it kind of decreases your appetite a little bit, and increases your body movement. And so I had been on it for a while, and I can't believe I'm talking about this right now. What the fuck? I don't know why I'm so sensitive about it, but so I decided to go off of it in the beginning of the year. In March, it was, I think, like right at the beginning of the quarantine. And I know now that Spirit did that for a reason, for me to really face myself. And I needed to put the layers back on for some reason. And it's just brought me to a place of just even more sensitivity, and more self-consciousness. And it all has a purpose. I was meant to get back to a place where 12:21 on my clock, where my inner child was triggered, obviously, and her self-consciousness about her body and wanting to protect herself and not be judged, and a lot of other things. But it also was meant to bring me into this kind of hermit mode. I've detached myself more and more and more from people out there, from the channel, from a lot of different things in my life because I don't want to be seen. I don't want to literally be seen because people, especially people who haven't seen me in a while, they will notice the difference. It's noticeable. And they are meaning to bring me to a place of accepting myself for where I am whenever I am. And one of the hardest times for me to do that is when I'm not comfortable with how I look. And so where is this going? Where is all of this going? I know that I have been getting to a point of self-reflection and trusting my light and just allowing the light to shine through. Like, it's my light that people want to see and that people see in me. But I feel the energy of, the physical side of it. When people see the physical side of it, I'm afraid of judgment. I'm afraid of it's really my own judgment. I judge myself. But there's also this element of, I know I could be taking better care of myself. 11:11 on my fucking recording right now. I hear you. I know I should be taking better care of myself. It always just came so much easier when I had that physical drive and that physical motivation, and the medicine really helped me so much to just get moving and doing. It's like the medicine was my masculine energy. And I took that away, and so many people are just like, well, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just stay on it? I mean, it's not like I'm abusing it. It's meant for what it's meant. It's meant for the ADD, and it was helping me to focus, and I was accomplishing things, and it was doing what it was meant to do. But they just kept pushing me to look underneath of it. What is the energy underneath of it? Why don't I have the energy or the motivation or the focus? And I know it's connected to, a medical diagnosis, and science is saying that my brain works in a certain way, and, there's cognitive, some sort of dysfunction there, according to them. But we see things differently. Every diagnosis is just their way of trying to understand some sort of energetic imbalance. And I think that ADD is evident in so many of us who are super intuitive and really sensitive to energy, and our brains just aren't wired to function in that world out there. And we've been conditioned to change ourselves to fit into that world out there. And there's like this clarion call I'm hearing right now to shift that. That world now is being shifted to adjust to the intuitives and to the people and light workers and people who are super sensitive to energy and all of that now. So to really tap into the depth of that energy sensitivity and the depth of my gifts, I needed to not have a chemical in my body in order to access that, in order to move the energy the way that it needs to be moved through my body. There are other ways to do it. I wasn't equipped at the time, and this is no judgment against anybody else who takes the medicine or doesn't take the medicine. You have to take what resonates for you and create your own belief system around what works for you. And I did it for a long time. I was on that medication and on it and off it, and I would be on it for a while, and then I would go off it for a little while, and then it would eventually just get worse and worse and worse, and I would have a much, much harder time getting moving, and I would end up coming into this deep, dark night of the soul eventually. It would lead to this kind of like depression. And it was connected to this lack of movement, this lack of motivation, this lack of connection with my physical body, and less moving, less masculine energy, which is connected to distorted masculine energy from my childhood. And so I was like masking that a little bit in order to function on a daily basis out there. I had to. But now that they have brought it all back in, they've brought me back into my home space, and your home is your heart space. They've forced me to be sedentary and in my home, and my kids in my home too. Like, there's no the quarantine out there, in order to really, really finally dig very, very deep down underneath of it and get to the reason why can't I do it without the medication? Why am I have a hard time with that motivation? Why can I not find the inspiration? Why do I not feel as much of a connection as I do on the medicine? Why is that? And a lot of it has to do with masculine energy. And they just keep showing me as I speak, excuse me, more clearing. As I speak it, more of it gets transmuted. More of it comes out. I realize more of it, and more of it flows. But I have to just allow myself to speak it and stop holding myself back and stop letting my ego step in the way because I'm scared of revealing myself or being completely just vulnerable and open and telling all of my personal shit. But that's me. I am my personal shit. That's me. And it's gonna, somebody's gonna resonate with it. Somebody is gonna be in that same position and understanding, like, oh, that's why I am where I am. Oh, that's what I have coming up right now. And I get you. I get you, and you get me. And that's why they're telling me right now. It's just so important to just spout all of it, just to say all of it, just to say whatever it is that's coming to me right now. So what is that reason? A lot of you know that when I came back from England this last time, and the time before that, actually, I almost immediately get completely bombarded and overwhelmed by the amount of responsibility. And that's one of the things that is the worst thing for ADD for me, is the overwhelm of responsibilities. There's so many things to do. It's all the doing. There's so many things to do, and I'm doing them by myself, that I almost can't even do any of it because the scope of it is so big. You can't compartmentalize and like be task oriented and just kind of have some sort of organizational system to make the scope of things not so big and overwhelming, and you just take one thing at a time, right? It seems really simple, but the organization of that has never ever come easy for me. And doing it by myself, I get so overwhelmed by all of the things that I have to do, I end up not being able to do any of them. And when I was in England, Lloyd, God love him, is so masculine energy and such a doer that he just took care of so much. And it was just this flow back and forth that I could just be in my feminine energy. And like, he would do the grocery shopping, or he would make the food, or he had the food planned, or, he's such a doer that it was so nice to just be. I had never really just let myself be. And then I come back here, and that way of being, there's like this roadblock because he was representing the masculine energy. And I was able to fully open up to my feminine energy. But then when I came back here, I was forced to see that, where's my masculine energy though? Where's mine? I can't just do. I needed to lean into my feminine. I needed to awaken her. I needed to heal her. I really needed to have her have all the focus on her and be taken care of in order to see what was underneath of all of this, in order to get down to her helping out to heal the masculine energy within me. So when I came back here, my masculine energy, my feminine was able to see that and her way of seeing is going through an empathic experience. My physical body, I was so tired. I was so barreled over by this depression, this like dark night of the soul. I could not get off of the couch. Just this oppressive. I can't do anything. I have no will to even live, really. I can't do anything. I needed to have been in that and healed that feminine energy so that she could see and experience and channel the wounded masculine energy so that I could get to his wounding. And why is he wounded? Where was he wounded? Why is it so hard for him to, where is that original wound? Where is that? And why does he have such a hard time creating action? Why can't he move? Why can't I move? Why could I literally not get off the couch? And I've been in, my feminine has been transmuting this masculine energy. This is reflective of what's happening in the on the planet right now. This feminine energy is being anchored into the earth, and she is transmuting this distorted masculine energy by healing it, by seeing it, by feeling it, by experiencing it. For this has to do with those of you who, and you're going to resonate with those of you that, I can't get the words out, that have become uber sensitive to energies, and even more than you always were. 2112 on my clock right now, and that is the time that I was born too. So that's significant for me. You're super sensitive to the energies that are out there right now. It's because you have downloaded so much light to get you to a point where the feminine energy is anchoring into your body, your divinity. 1, 2, 3, 4 on my clock. Your divinity is anchoring into your human body. That's the masculine, though. The masculine is the physical body. And so there are blockages that have been for eons blocking the feminine from fully integrating and merging with the masculine energy. And she has empowered herself so much that she is able to now see what those distortions are and transmute them in order to situate herself down into and really anchor into this human body. So it was necessary for me to be in my feminine, to allow that healing to just be, to flow, to let go, to surrender, to understand the energy of surrender, to have the empathic experience of surrender. And I needed to bring that back here with me so that she could get back to that energy over and over and over again. Keep surrendering, keep surrendering, keep surrendering. Don't force him to do. Don't force that masculine to do, because that when you have a whole list of things that you have to do, that's one of my biggest triggers, is when I have to do something. That's when it's the hardest for me, because it's like, no, fuck off. I just want to do what I want to do when it feels good, when I feel inspired, when I feel in the flow of it. That's when it comes easiest to me. When I have to do something, then that's when I come up against this brick wall. So feminine, you cannot force the masculine to see. You can't force him to do. You just have to be. It's like you now are taking over that masculine trait of holding the space, for taking that into yourself and integrating that masculine characteristic, that essence, into yourself. You're taking little bits of sacred masculine into yourself in order to hold the space for this distorted masculine energy to clear through. I hope that makes sense, because I'm just seeing that right now as part of the reason why I experienced what I experienced when I came back from there. So it's like I was forced to see finally the energy underneath of why I was reliant on that medication and why I couldn't just do. Why can't I just continue that too? Why can't I go the distance? Why can't I see the bigger picture? And why can't I enjoy the journey instead of heading for a destination? That's part of it, is that the scope of the journey feels so, I can feel the energy of how big that is. the wholeness of the journey is beyond my realm of understanding. It's beyond the realm of anyone's understanding, really. We can see snippets of it, but then it goes like dimensions and dimensions past that. But when you can feel the energy of that expansion, there's fear underneath of the energy of expansion. When you feel that things are shifting, when you feel that it's changing, your feminine is becoming so sensitive to the scope of that. There's so much fear in, what do I do with all of that though? What do I do with it? There's so much there, and there's a million steps to get to integrating and being in all of that. The scope of that feels really terrifying. And that's programs, that's the programs, that's our human self. We are not capable of just launching ourselves into the allness of the all. We have to give ourselves time and have patience with ourselves and love ourselves each step of the way, no matter where we are. And it's like that dimension, that world, that journey, that path, that destination feels like we want to get to it so bad. We just want to be there already, because the struggle to get there, or the path to get there so far, this awakening path, has been it's been filled with struggle, and it's really hard to dig away the layers. It's really hard to dig through the shadows and peel away belief systems that have been ingrained that we didn't even know were there. And the journey has been, there's so much, it feels like, so much more hard than there has been light and beautiful and joyful. For me anyway. It's so hard to find that joy and to call it up into being. I realized, a couple of weeks ago that I essentially am afraid of joy. I have a fear of joy. And so it's a lot easier to lean into the shadows and lean into the darkness and the heaviness and the fear that's out there and all of that, because I feel safer there. I feel like I know what's coming. I'm not going to be blindsided by something because I had my back turned and I was over here having fun, and all of a sudden there's like this train wreck or something that just came in and hit me like a trauma. We have a fear of joy because of trauma. And we don't want to lean into joy because there's usually some sort of trauma implanted on us where we weren't paying attention. We were fully present, completely present in our moment. And then boom, something yanked us out of it. It was something tragic. It was some sort of trauma. And that is where the masculine barrier is to allowing ourselves and being able to just do and be merged with the feminine energy of inspiration and intuition, to be able to do things and create action when it is connected to passion and inspiration and drive. That's when I want to do. I want to, even when I need to vacuum, just being happy to be and being inspired by what it's gonna look like when I'm done, because I know that is, because it always makes me feel really good to have the clean space like that and not focus on the density and the heaviness of the actual action. There is fear in joy. There's fear in the joy. And so we have this block to allowing ourselves to feel joy. Something's always going to fuck it up. We have to protect ourselves. There's this suit of armor that we have on, protecting ourselves from joy. And so we never can fully lean into it. And yet on this journey, we know when we awaken that we're headed towards something really beautiful. And I just want to get to it because I want to experience that joy. I want to be there already. I see people who are ahead of me on the journey, and I see that they've come into these realizations, and I just want to get to that point. I want to get to that point because this here doesn't feel like, it feels like I'm still doing the work. I'm always doing the work. I'm sick of the fucking work. I'm sick of the battle. But But underneath of it, my distorted masculine energy always keeps me in that battle. It always keeps me working on shadow energies because I know that, number one, I know that it's important, but also because outside of that, if I were to lean into the depth of the light side of things and just allow myself to focus on the joy and the gratefulness and the happiness for that day or that moment, there is a fear connected to it that that's just going to be ripped away. So it's a lot easier and feels safer for the masculine energy to be in a place where he feels like he can control and he can protect the feminine energy, really, that he can protect, that he can be the protector. So, if we are always staying in this denser energy, if we are continuing to just allow it to take over, really, it feels safer there because at least we know how to handle this, though. We know to, do this, this, and this. It's like we don't know how to handle joy. We don't know how to handle the happiness. We don't know how to handle light and to feel good and to allow ourselves to feel good. That's essentially like what has been holding me back. It's been holding us back. And that's what's been underneath of the masculine not wanting to move. It's like he doesn't want to move on this journey. He doesn't want to move forward because of the scope of the journey. There's so many steps, though, to get to that point, except that, no, it isn't. Because the journey is meant to be the destination. And so if we take that destination from all the way down there and we bring it here, and there is some sort of real beauty in every single moment, the scope of that journey and where you thought you were headed, if you break that down, we are already there. We are constantly getting there. Think about how far you've come in the last 6 months and how 6 months ago you would have loved to have been in the energy that you're in right now in an ascended kind of way, and to know the things that you know now that you didn't know then, and to come into that information or to have met the people that you met. Or looking back, it's like, look at how much I have learned since then, and look at how far I've come. Even if you feel like you are in a denser energy right now, or like the world has gotten worse in the last 6 months, there's so much that we've learned, and there are connections that we've made that we were dying for back then. And so you're there already. You're already at that destination. And then tomorrow you're going to be at the destination that you wanted to be in 6 months and a day from that moment. And so appreciating that every single day is going to help you to realize that destination that you're shooting for is right here. Realizing that it's not happiness that we are reaching for. It's not joy that we're reaching for out there somewhere. It is joy here that we are wanting to anchor into. When we realize that we can't ever get to it there, but we can always get to it here, we realize that, and what I've realized, what they brought to me yesterday was that it is presence that we are looking for. We're not searching for happiness and joy. We're actually searching for presence. Being present in all the moments. Because even in this pain, there is understanding, there's light, there is freedom. In sitting in the pain, there is joy and there's love. There's so much love in what I've been going through in the last couple of months, even just right now, even through the energy of this video. I have transmuted so much and come to so many realizations about what the purpose of this darkness has been or this darkness. And it's brought me to a place of understanding that in this present moment, how is it that I feel? How is it that I feel? If I can just sit here, not think this way, not think this way, think about how I feel right now and really connect with that thing in my stomach that I was talking about, that thing in my solar plexus. I feel sensitive about my appearance. Okay, what's underneath of that? I feel scared to be seen. Okay, what's underneath of that? And I hear 6-year-old. It's my 6-year-old. Oh, okay, I get to see my 6-year-old today. What is it that she wants to talk about? She wants to talk about why she's sensitive about her body. Okay, she's never really wanted to really come out and talk to me about that before. I don't know that I've ever sat down with her and just been like connected with her that quickly. Okay, what does she want to talk about? And I get to hug her. I get to hug her and I get to tell her how beautiful she is. I get to tell her the light that I see in her. There are people out there in the world who don't give a fuck what you look like. They don't care what you look like. They don't care like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. It doesn't matter. They only see you. They see the you underneath of you. They see the you that you have a hard time seeing, and they're going to mirror that back to you. And it is the most beautiful thing. You are the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. That pain that she feels is really beautiful because I can connect with it as this person in this now moment, and bring her up here with me and show her light. And that's so joyful for me. I'm so grateful for the ability to do that. And if I hadn't allowed myself to be vulnerable and to talk about something that I'm so sensitive about, to talk about my weight, and I never would have gotten to see her just now in this very moment. And I got to be present with her. I got to be present with you, being present with her, and hopefully with your 6-year-old or your 11-year-old or whoever it is, in order to bring them up into this space. I said it was 6 months ago. Maybe it's your 6 months ago person who wishes that they were here in that knowing, because they were so scared back then. They were worried about what was going to happen. They were worried about their jobs. They had just lost their jobs. They were worried about money. And now they're in this position right here, having learned whatever they needed to learn. What is that you're feeling right now? Are you feeling fear again? Let's get underneath of it. Let's really look at that and hold it and hug it, because this is all part of the journey. It's part of the journey. Let's then extract the light out of that. Let's extract the light out of it. Okay, what good came from that? Really, really be honest with yourself. Someone left you 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever it was. And you have been dealing with the what ifs and the what could have been, and waiting for them to come back in again, and just wishing for that again, or there was some kind of friend that left or whatever it was. What good came from them leaving your life? Really look at how far you've come since then and be grateful for the lessons that you learned. Regardless of that person, look at those lessons. Let's sit in the moment right now and look at those lessons and really be grateful for the growth that you've experienced, because you are forced to face yourself, to finally face yourself, and to see your own beauty and to understand your strength. Look at how strong you are to have survived something like that. There are abandonment issues right now that have been coming up for you to examine, for you to look at. It may be that this person, whoever it is, their energy has come back into your field again. Whether they are communicating with you, or you just start thinking about them even more, or there's some sort of subconscious energy, this distorted masculine, distorted feminine energy coming in from the past that now is in your realm. I did a video a year ago, almost a year ago to the day. Today is the 5th, but I did it on December 3rd. I'll put a link for that in the box below if you resonate with that. It's unbelievable. The way that I feel, the pattern of that karmic pattern of that right now also, and I channeled it back then too. They're coming into your awareness for a reason. Is it to re-examine, or is it for you to really extract the beauty of what has happened to you and how far you've come, how much your light has grown since then, Pick out all of those good things. Write them down. Write a list. 5 things. 5 good, positive things that have come from that situation that felt so traumatic and so just gut-wrenching, and it felt like trauma at the time. Let's name 5 good things that came from that. And be present. Be present here, right now, and really, really, really take a look at yourself. Really look at the positives in you right now. I'm going to do the same thing. And I haven't pulled any cards. I was going to do a card reading here, but obviously this is what needed to happen. 4004 on my recording. The mirror number. This is the card that had come out originally from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And it's the Go the Distance. It's the number 11 card, obviously. And it did come out in reverse. And it was what started the energy of this for me. This channel was, what is it that's holding you back? What is it that's stopping you from seeing the big picture, from going the distance, from getting to that destination? It's the destination itself, feeling all the way out there, feeling like there's so much that I have to do to get to it. It's the idea of that actually stops me from getting to that, because it's not all the way out there. The destination is here right now in all of these moments, and being present in these moments. Bring yourself back into this again, and you have achieved it. You've achieved it. At some point on your journey, you set the goal of being here in this space, or you set the goal of being in a certain place, and this is an important part of that. To process this now moment, and be here with me right now and with yourself. This is how I'm feeling right now. This is how I'm feeling right now after being scared to connect with you guys in this way, to say these things about myself, to, even come on and do videos anymore. I've tried so many times to sit down and do a video, and my channel would just stop in the middle of it. My ego would just get in the way, and it's just like, because I wasn't allowing what they were giving me, what they wanted me to talk about. And they so often want me to talk about me and transmute things for myself because it affects you guys, but it's very vulnerable. It's such a personal space to be, and I have such a hard time really revealing the vulnerable side of myself. That's the masculine. That's the masculine that the feminine is really trying to hold space for. And so we do that through intuition. We do that through our emotions. We do that through our sight. And we start this real energy of merging with the masculine right now. So this is how I'm feeling right now. So blessed and honored, and really just in such a connected. I'm so honored and grateful to be connected with you guys in this grid of light. You guys are part of the all, and when I connect here, when I channel things, I'm connecting with you, I'm connecting with them, and really just giving you what you need, giving you the light that you need, reflecting back the light in you that you need to see. I'm just so honored for being a part of your journey in that way. Okay, number 22 card, obviously not a coincidence that this one is the number 11 card. Okay, being present, feeling blessed and grateful in this present moment, even in the pain. I love the purple in this too. There's a lot of violet flame, a lot of violet fire is what I hear. Okay, thank you guys so much for honoring me. Okay, I love you. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want you to put, what kind of emoji? Should we do a sunshine emoji? Let's do a sunshine emoji down in the comments, and I'll pick a couple of people to pull some cards for right there in the comments, just for thanking you for making it this far in the video and supporting me. And again, I love you guys so much. Make sure that you are subscribing and hitting the like button and hitting the notification bell to get notified for any videos that I put up. And I'm hoping that more are coming here pretty soon. So, all right, guys, love you.